Memorial Day is a day of remembrance and honor for men and women who died while serving in the military. On today's show, Cindy Leming talks about the Vetlift, and then we talk to a veteran whose life has been transformed through the Vetlift program. We have grilling techniques from Chef Mike from the Hard Rock Cafe, and then we talk to the president of Paralyzed Veterans of America. There are currently 3,450 homeless veterans in Lane County. There is now a program in Eugene, Oregon that is giving back and helping homeless veterans. To talk about this wonderful program is Cindy Leming. Cindy Leming is a program director of Vetlift. Hi, Cindy. I am so happy to have you.
Hi, Betty. It's wonderful to be here, too. Thank you so much.
So, Cindy, what is the Vetlift program?
Well, Vetlift is a housing program for homeless veterans, and it has two aspects. It has a permanent housing part and a transitional housing part.
What are some of the services you provide to the veterans?
Well, we have a case management that's really intensive. We meet with the veterans on a weekly basis. We have the veterans come into our office. It's right there on site with the apartment complexes. Whenever they need help or, whenever they need access to any services, like we have a computer lab, we have a representative from the employment department that comes on a weekly basis, and on a monthly basis we have a veterans representative for the veteran service officer.
That's really wonderful. How many veterans would you say you've helped since the program has started?
We have actually helped pretty close to 100 veterans at this point, and about 85, close to 85% of them are actually able to go into permanent housing.
That's wonderful. Well, Cindy, I understand you've got a very inspirational story. Just talk a little bit about how you were homeless and your husband being a veteran.
In 1995, my husband and I and our 4 children became homeless. I had broken my neck and was no longer able to work as a nurse, and my husband is a Vietnam-era veteran. He was in the Marine Corps and a combat veteran, and he became overwhelmed with the circumstances of my injury and our family situation. So he wasn't able to work at that time. So for about 8 months, we were homeless on the streets. And what happened for me is I really became very compassionate for other veterans and their families that end up in those circumstances. So after I recovered from my injury, I went back to school and got my bachelor's degree in psychology, and then I got my master's in social work.
That's wonderful. So that's a good inspirational story to let people know, no matter what their circumstances, no matter how low you've been, that you can still turn your life around.
There is hope.
There is hope, and there is hope, a lot of hope out there.
A lot of hope.
That's wonderful. And well, how do the vets go about getting into this housing program?
Well, we have a transitional group meeting that meets once a week on Wednesday afternoons at our office, and any veteran that's homeless that is interested in going back into housing could come to that meeting, and we will warmly receive them.
That's wonderful. So do you find that there are a lot of veterans that really need help and want help and that do come to you?
We really do. Yeah, there have been quite a few veterans that have been able to come in and connect with us. We also help connect them with other resources in the community. The Reintegration Service Center is over off of River Road, and they can access services there also. That's
wonderful. So if a veteran has no income, is housing still available for them?
No, they actually don't. That's really important to realize. Our transitional housing program is for veterans that have 0 income, and it's a grant and per diem program that is federally funded. And once they get into housing, then we try to help them with 3 things: increasing their skills or income, hopefully finding permanent housing for them through the Vetlift program or through HUD-VASH, which is another federally funded program, and then helping them reconnect and establish their relationships and other sobriety things along that line.
That's wonderful. So what would you say, I'm going to wrap this up, but what would you say the biggest thing that we as a community can do to help our veterans?
Well, I think being really understanding and supportive of the trauma that they have experienced, and being open to hiring veterans. I know right now with the currently returned veterans that there's a high rate of unemployment. It's about 51%, and I would really, like to see those veterans be able to get jobs.
Right, and a lot of them were promised that they'd have their jobs when they came back, and then when they came back, there was no job.
Yeah, a lot of the companies, stopped, so they left them without jobs. Yeah.
Well, that's wonderful. So if you have one last thing to say to my audience about the Vetlift program and helping our veterans, what would that be?
Please just be supportive and be really there to give the veterans, a helping hand. The truth is, they don't want a hand out. They want a hand up. Exactly.
And we also might want to say that this Vetlift program is a part of the St. Vincent de Paul.
Yes, it is.
It is. Cindy, thank you so much for being on the show. This has been great. Stay with us, and we'll be right back after these messages. And next, we're going to be talking to a veteran whose life has been transformed through the Vetlift program. Back in a moment.
It's given me a chance to start my life over. A few years back, I got into rough shape, family things, and just life happened.
And life does happen all the time.
Right, and it just got too much for me to bear. And so I came out west, and